Hello, good day, beautiful people. I am the Inspirational Lady Noble 365 Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I greatly appreciate you being here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I trust you'll love this vibe. And everything you need to know about me is in the description below. This can be past, present, or future. You or someone around you. So take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. This is a general read. This is not a personal read. If you like a personal read, check out the description below, and I'll be happy to assist you with doing so. Keep in mind that tarot is a tool. It is not the final rule. So it's a good idea to have an empty cup when you're on Lady Noble's channel and you really want to see what's up. All are welcome on this channel, and all contributions are highly appreciated. Okay. Hope you all are doing wonderful. Okay. Be sure to tell a family, friend, or foe, or to come on over and subscribe to the channel so they can be privy to these spiritual notifications. There is enough space in this place for everyone to be notified. Collective, you have people who are watching you and observing you. There are people who are very shocked at what they see. As I hold the bed of nails here, okay, it's a plastic form of the bed of nails, as you see. There are people who thought that you would be impacted, that you would be hurt, crushed, dissolved by now, gone by now. This could be family, friends, ex-lovers, people who assume that, the things that they have done to you would have ended you, but they have not. It looks like you have overcame a lot in your life. You have persevered and survived some harsh circumstances. And so it's different for everyone that is watching. But the things that you have overcame has people in shock because there are people who could have collaborated with other people against you. I'm also picking up there are people who have collaborated with people they don't even like or know personally. The only thing they have in common is that they both have it out for the collective, or they both envy the collective for whatever reason. This could be ex-lovers, ex-husband, wife, family, friends, co-workers. Okay, this could be someone on social media, someone trolling your account, okay, looking for some energy. Maybe somebody want to do some keyboard thugging, okay? But they were looking for you to be over with. They want you to be smashed. They want you to be gone and over with. But somehow, some way, you managed to survive and thrive. Let's put the bed of nails away. So either way, yeah. They want you to be done with. They thought, like every little piece here in this bed of nails here, you would have been affected. And, the amount that is in here, they've sent so much negative energy your way, hoping and wishing for you not to be successful. Happy. For some of you, there were people hoping you never fall in love, and the gossip, the slander, the so many times and opportunities that they have taken to try to hinder your growth and development. They are now seeing that it just did not work. They are now seeing that you are divinely protected. They are now seeing that their actions are basically returning to them. They could feel, for some of them, that you are doing something to them. They could feel that you're manipulating energy. Someone could be accusing you of using black magic. Someone could be accusing you of calling you a witch. Whether you're on social media or not, this could just be your everyday personal life. This could be someone in your community as well. There's also someone who doesn't like that they don't have control over you, or they don't have access to you. And so, they could be slandering your character by sharing past mistakes, or, we all have moments in our life where we're living out of our shadow side. We will always be continuously learning and growing while we're here. Wisdom does not always come with age, okay? But there could be someone who's taken past circumstances that you have endured that may not have been favorable for you, and they could just be going from person to person. I'm hearing house to house, so this could be family, okay? Just talking about things from the past. And when I say past, I'm talking about stuff that's just old and doesn't matter anymore because you're over it, you're beyond it and past it. This could be things that happened maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, when you were a child. You're now a full-grown adult. But they're very shocked at what they see. And there's a lot of observation. There's a lot of eyes on you, collective. So whether you're on social media or not, but everyone is, they could be trolling your account. They could be trying to intimidate you. Someone wants a response from you. That's what it is. Someone wants a response, and you're not responding to them because you recognize who they are. You get it. you recognize, an envious person, a jealous person, and an insecure person. And so a wise one knows that it's a waste of time. If someone shows you that they're not for you, it's really a waste of time to even interact. It's really a waste of time to interact with someone who has already showed you and exposed that they're not for you. So your time here on planet Earth is very valuable. It's your currency. And so why waste your time? You're busy focusing with the King of Pentacles here, working on success and abundance. And this is why people are watching. They know that you're not who you used to be. And this frightens them. This frightens them because they have done a lot of cruel, mean, demeaning. Okay, cruel, mean, demeaning things to you. There have been some things that have been done that you may not be aware of. Okay, Spirit is saying a lot of these things you know about, and there could have been some things done that you were never told about, and I'm pretty sure you don't care. Something about someone sleeping with someone you dated, and keeping it a secret for many years. But you're not with that person, and so and this person found out that when they started dating your ex, that it wasn't a win. They actually found out why you chose to leave this person. So maybe they chose to date them to make you jealous, but you moved on with your life, and this person doesn't even have access to you. So what they meant to do to try to make you jealous, whether this was posting pictures online or wanting you to see them together or know about it, these people don't even have access to you. You've moved on. You could have moved on. You could be married now, or you could have a spouse, or dating someone. You've just moved on, period. And you're in a different energy. You are working on yourself. You have a lot of maturity and growth. You also have a lot that you have accomplished. You're not who you used to be. You've made a lot of progress in your life, especially emotionally, and when it comes to your confidence, male or female. If you were someone who had low self-esteem, not anymore. That's over with. If you were someone who was just had a negative mindset, not anymore. That's over with. The King of Pentacles is here. This is representing prosperity and success. And so you have a lot of prosperity and success going on for you. And that's why you're under heavy observation. So, people have free will. We can't control what they choose to give their currency and time to. So if they want to watch, Spirit is saying, let them watch. Okay. But they're very shocked, and they also know and could be afraid because some of these people, they want to approach you, but they can't because they are afraid of what I just mentioned. There are things that were done that you may not be aware of, but some of them are kind of indecisive. They're kind of leery, like wondering, like, I want to do the collective no, that I was dating their ex for 2 years. I want to do the collective no, I stole that money from them. I want to do the collective no, I lied about so and so. It could be many different things. And so with this moon energy here, they want to have access to your life, but they know they're not welcome. They want to approach you, but they know you're not going to respond well, or if you respond at all. But at the same time, it's in the back of their mind, playing out repetitively. And Spirit is saying this is their karma for even trying to come for you, because a lot of this energy that you experienced was unwarranted. It was unjust. It was done for not a good reason at all. These were people who just didn't want to see you win for whatever reason. Sometimes people are jealous and envious. Sometimes people are insecure. Also, we live in a world where there are people, not all people, who want you to feel what they are feeling. If they're unable to heal themselves or they choose not to heal themselves, well, the whole idea of you healing yourself, they will be totally against it. And so that's what the slandering of your reputation and character is about. And people holding on to past old stories because all they have is old information. They have nothing new to say because they know nothing new about you. You're not even dealing with these people, but they would love to approach you and they would love to be part of your life. They see you as someone with the Six of Swords that's being celebrated, and you have more peace and calm in your life. You have a peace and a calm that a miserable person would want to interrupt and intercept. And so you could have people trying to approach you, whether family, friend, lover, woman or man, trying to attach themselves to you to come into your life. They want to gain access, but their intentions are unpure. As Spirit said, these people have nothing new to say. So it's a good idea to continue staying focused on your prosperity, your success you have on, and celebrating with new energy, okay? Because these people from the past are trying to attach they really want to come into your life and see, can they sabotage. They're recognizing that everything they're doing, over time, everything they've been doing over time has not worked. You know, every, slander, every gossip, every rumor, every lie has not worked. People are starting to look at them and they have to recant their stories that they have told about you. I thought the collective was lazy. I thought you said they was a bum. I thought you said they wasn't smart. Oh, they're very intellectual. They're very smart. And so you've got them looking some kind of way. They're looking just like this with the moon energy, like, yeah, I said that, but what? But what? Why did you lie on the collective? And and someone could also be asking this person or these people, like, why do you have it out for the collective so bad? I notice they don't deal with you. Someone could actually be saying this to your haters, and this could be making them extra mad. Like, what? You're like, why are you so negative? Why do you have it out for the collective? They don't even visit you or call you. Why are you always bringing them up? Someone could be actually getting asked that question, fronted off, or ask that question, and it may make them feel some kind of way. I'm picking up, it may lead to some kind of light confrontation, yeah, and they're like a deer in headlights, they don't know what to say. Yeah, yeah. So some of them didn't want you to find love. You could have had maybe people close to you who didn't want you to find love because they never found love. True love comes from loving thyself, and then you will magnetize the right partner towards you, male or female. And so there are some people who were around you in your upbringing, in your life spirit is saying, that didn't want you to find true love. But it turns out everything they sent your way has not prospered and will not prosper because it's unwarranted and you are protected. And so you have found new love. You have found joy. You have found someone who wants to commit. Oftentimes people think that, it's not possible to obtain their goals and desires. No, a lot of times, collective, we're just around the wrong people. You got to get around the right people. Be patient with yourself. Be patient, number one. And sometimes, the love that you are distributing, it can't be reciprocated because you're giving it to the wrong people. The joy, the kindness that you're giving, it can't be reciprocated, meaning returned to you, because you're giving your kindness and joy to the wrong people. Now, you get around the right frequency and the right vibration, and it starts to reciprocate. And there's the joy and the happiness and the reciprocity. And it's not a one-way situation or relationship where one person is doing all the consideration. One person is planning date night. One person paying all the bills. There's a balance. It's not imbalance. So you have to make sure you're around the right people. That's just like if you have a talent, a gift, or a skill. It's not that your gift or talent is boring. It's not that nobody won't like it, because let me tell you, collective, there's an audience for everybody. Whatever talent or gift or thing you want to do, go for it. I'm telling you to go for it. I don't care what it is. There's an audience for you. There are people waiting to support you. I'm going to tell you that if ain't nobody else. So whatever it is, get started and go for it. You don't need nobody permission for that. You have to just be around the right people. Sometimes the environment that we are in does not support our talents and our gifts. And that's where you find people will stray away from non-supportive environments, especially family, friends, sometimes your lover. It might sometimes, hey, your husband and wife for some people. When there are goals and aspirations that you are passionate about, especially if it's part of your divine purpose, it's not about whether it's the trendy thing to do or if they're going to accept it. If you're in your purpose, it's in your divine purpose. God hired you. Who gonna fire you? You just got to go and be around the right people. You can't stay in the past, and around those people who have a negative mindset or who are low vibrational and expect them to root for you. Because the truth be told, we spend our time looking for validation and for people to support you. A lot of these people in the world, I got to tell you, 99.99% of the people you go past, collective, they don't even like themselves. So if people having an identity crisis or they don't like who they are when they look in the mirror each and every day, how you think they're going to feel about you? How you they think they're going to feel about you working towards the pinnacle? How you think they're going to feel about you falling in love with somebody, finding somebody to respect you, create memories with you, create a family with you, build with you? This is your energy. A person who does not love themselves, A person who feels insecure, a person who feels there isn't a way and there's always many ways to meet your goal wholeheartedly, they don't want to see this. They don't want to know about your growth and development. They don't want to know about your love and happiness. Okay? There are people who thrive off of chaos, who thrive off of negativity. All they know is toxicity. All they know is, oh, let's pull up on them. Let's do, that's all they know. They don't want to know about flowers and gumdrops and sunshine. They want to know about darkness and, ooh, guess what's going to happen? And, ooh, we better, they're just fear-based. These are people who feed the fears. So with all that being said, you just got to be around the right people. Spirit is saying it never was you. You were just in the wrong environment. Even if this is your family, we come through our family to fulfill a contractual duty, spiritually speaking. To come into our purpose, is to come into our awakening. And it's different for everyone. Everyone will not come into their awakening and find their purpose at the same time. It's an individual thing, and it's between you and source. When the soul calls for more and you're willing to respond, that's when those things will happen. That's when your petals will be pulled back and you'll begin to learn the layers of thyself. You'll begin to want to know more about your existence, of why you are here. Because there are more than what meets the two eyes. There's always more popping off behind the curtain. But many are not brave enough or confident enough to even walk in those shoes or take the steps that are necessary to get there. It takes a lot for a person to be homeless and still hold their head up high and not blame anyone. And even when people turn them down, still keep the hope and keep the faith and keep praying and keep believing and keep believing. It takes a lot. Maybe you were someone who was in a situation like that in the past and you've overcame that and they're watching it now. And they're just like fascinated by you. But they're shocked. Their fascination isn't of pure. They're really angry because they don't want to see you holding this coin. They were hoping to keep you in fear. They wanted to see you being in lack and being in fear because unfortunately, there are people who love to see when people are down. There are people who connect to people who are only of a lower vibration to make themselves feel superior. They want you to be the inferior one. There are people who get off. They get kicks and giggles off of seeing folks in lack or in need. Maybe you had family and family members and friends who knew you were going through hardships and they laughed at you and they talked about you, but no one could offer a helping hand. But all of a sudden, everybody wants to show up because you're the one holding the coin. All of a sudden, people want to have conversations. People want to spend time with you. Folks want to come tell you what's going on with everybody. So-and-so don't feel well. They ill. Well, we can pray for them from a distance. Be mindful of allowing these people back into your life. They see you as a meal ticket. They want to come and try to intercept your growth and your development, your happiness and your peace. Their intentions are not pure. These people are angry because you have moved on. And you don't have to be a millionaire for a person to be jealous of you. You can just have happiness and joy, and people envy that. Because happiness is a real thing. True, real happiness is a real thing. And people really envy that. They can't stand when you got your peace. Because people know if you don't have peace, you don't have nothing at all. And I say it all the time, but it's true. If you don't have peace, you don't have nothing at all, and you can't enjoy anything. You can't enjoy nothing. And they see you have peace now. And they want to reattach and have access because they want to figure you out. They want to watch you. They want to take notes and see what you're doing because they want to be part of the dismantling. But the divine is saying, not on this timeline. That's the past. That's the past. Not on this. That's the past. Not on this timeline. The collective has been through all of the turmoil, deceitful behavior, betrayal, being without, being in lack, being insecure. That's the past. That is gone. We're now centered. We're now grounded. We're now confident. We know who we are. We know to go within. We know that all that we need or desire is within us. It's not outside of us. The collective is not chasing, we're attracting. And we're standing 10 toes down in our belief system, in our faith. Whatever it is you believe in, all are welcome on this channel. But they know this. They know this. They know this. And they don't like it. You're unpredictable, collective. You've made so many positive changes. You're unpredictable. When people can predict your next move, you're easy to be controlled. You're coachable. Oh, I can't stand that word, but I got to use it today. You're coachable. They can coach you. They can control you. They can pull your strings. That was the past. They can't do that to you. You're not weak. Your yes is yes and your no is no. And so there are people, even people who may not even know you personally. You know, there may be some new people you come across who may envy your peace as well, collective. This could be someone in a social group. This could be a total stranger. This could be someone in a community who don't know you personally, but they see you, you know. Maybe they ride past your home. Maybe they live in your neighborhood. And people are watching and observing. You handle your business. You're very independent. You're not off into everyone's world. You have two different kind of people in the world. You have people that mind their business, and then you have another kind that deliberately, intentionally love to be just in other people's space. And they love to be in other people's space for all the wrong reasons. Because you can get to know a person and be cordial with them, but when you're spending your time and energy trying to be in everyone's household and everyone's relationship and give opinions about everything that everybody else is doing, you're really pulling from yourself. And so there could be someone for some of you who's new, who you met recently, that wants to dismantle your peace, your centeredness. They're very fixated on you. I'm picking up a fixation energy. They're very stuck on you. They have a lot of wonderment about you, collective. They're wondering a lot about you personally. But you come off to them as someone very centered and grounded. This could be someone who could be just spiritually disheveled. You know, and because we all are different people and we all are in our own small worlds, living in a bigger world here on planet Earth, we have our own things going on. You know, we have our own little worlds. So this could be someone who has a lot of chaos going on in their personal life. But when they see you, this is what they see. This is what they're feeling, the chaos. They could be in fear. But when they see you, this is what they see. Like, wow, how is the collective just cool like that? How they sitting so, why they didn't see what's happening on the news? They not bothered? No, because you know what's real and what's fake, and you know what not to give your attention to. So this person could just be very curious about you and also be trying to attach themselves to you, maybe even try to, in any kind of way. This person could also show up places. This is getting very specific. Maybe you run into this person. Maybe there's a store or somewhere you shop or frequent. Maybe you run into this person at this location, or you see them often. And you're like, dang, why do I always see them when I go? What's yeah, this person just wants to know about you. They want to like latch on to your energy, but be mindful of that. It's okay to make new friends. You have free will, but be mindful because you have a peace that, it's causing envious. You have abundance, you have peace. You're independent. I'm not saying life is perfect for you, but you're resilient and resourceful. And those are things that people have a hard time conquering or mastering. You're here to master yourself. You're here to learn who you are. We're here to grow and learn lessons and find ways not to repeat them. But the things you have mastered, the areas of your life you have mastered, many people have not. And some of them may not, and it's okay. Sometimes you get it next ride, the next boat come along, you'll get it, maybe next lifetime. Okay. Is that Erica Badu? Guess I'll see you next lifetime. We be butterflies. Okay. But you have mastered some very important, valuable areas in your life, and that's what's helping you remain self-efficient and resourceful. And it's just a lot of curiosity. You're very strong-willed, but it's in a positive way. It's not in a negative way. So very beautiful, very beautiful, very beautiful. So yeah, they don't like what they see, baby. So we got the King of Swords here, and so yeah, you're standing in your truth. You have a lot of mental power, and it's obvious you have a lot of mental power. You're not who you used to be. They know it. They see it. They know it. They see it. They know it. They see it. Yeah. And they know that you are spiritually connected, even if maybe you weren't. So, we're all spiritual beings either way. Okay. But maybe you didn't present, or it was not seen or known. But with the Hierophant here, this is leadership energy. But also, they know you're more spiritually in tune. They know you're protected. They know you're in tune, and they know you're not who you used to be. It's like, I don't know, walking on eggshells. Like, I want to approach the collective, but I know I'm not welcome. I better not. One wrong step, that kind of energy there. Okay. And so with the King of Pentacles here, this is mature energy. So you're building things that's going to be for generational wealth. If you are a parental figure, you're creating wealth, and you're creating options for you and your family, you and your offspring. There will be things, even when you transition, for your children and your grandchildren. I'm picking up for some of you, that will be around to last. Okay. And they'll be able to reap as well. Okay. Yeah. And so these people who, slighted you, or these people who crossed you in the past, they're regretting it. It's like a regret energy here. And they want to turn back, but they know they can't. So they're like, I know I can't get a piece of this coin, but if I could just wiggle my way back into the collective life, maybe I can, I know I can persuade them. I can persuade them, and get close to them, and that kind of energy. They know they're not welcome. They know they've done too much. They know so much time has passed, and you're just simply not interested. Whether this is a lover, a family member, a friend, you're relaxing, with the Ten of Swords. It's over. The past is gone. You could be somewhere getting you a massage or some acupuncture therapy, chilling, relaxing. Yeah, yeah, the Queen of Swords. You've been there, you've done that, and you're in your confidence. Okay. And so you have also opened up to a lot of your gifts, a lot of your abilities. You can be very intuitive as well. This could be something that you don't brag about, but you know that you're intuitive, meaning you could have had a lot of examples and samples of, I'll give you a good example of guessing something, and you're always accurate. And that's not a guess, that's your intuitive abilities. You could be clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient. There could be a lot of gifts that you are being introduced to that are yours. You were born with these innate abilities, but you weren't able to tap into these gifts until you went through a process of doing the shadow work and surrendering from these people who you no longer deal with. You now know you now can be trusted to utilize your gifts in the right way, collective. You now can be trusted to utilize your gifts in the right way. And as I said, that may not be for everyone, but for some of you, that's for you, and you know who you are. It is no coincidence that every time you say, "Oh, I knew it." No, you knew it because that's one of your abilities. That's who you are. It's who you are. And so this is something that you keep to yourself, because people will call you crazy, deranged. Who's that, Martin? They'll call you crazy, deranged. So you keep this to yourself, and that's okay too, Spirit is saying. Okay. Yeah. There could be people, drinking heavy, thinking about you. Like you're the topic of discussion and you have no idea. And it's okay. You need to know that you don't need to change who you are. You're protected. Stay focused on yourself. Stay focused on the love and growth. Don't feed the fears and keep moving forward. But there are people, this could be an ex of yours who's indulging heavy in drinking, wishing they could take back, that last conversation that you had with this person. Maybe they said some things that was rude or cruel or just bold towards you. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You like, it's all about balance, baby. Reciprocity here. It's all about balance here. You're not having it. You're only dealing with people that is going to do their share, who's going to match your energy. No more connections, whether it's a friendship, romantic, or business partnership where you're doing all the work or all the giving, and then you're left depleted and that's gone and over with. And so these are people who, that's what they're accustomed to. This is the new you. You're not dealing with this. You're not being in lack, thinking in lack. You darn sure not dealing with anyone who doesn't care about their well-being either. That's for some of you. There's some of you who are turning extremely health conscious. Nothing wrong with that. When it comes to taking care of yourself, as you move forward, as you get older and have these birthdays and solar returns, you're like, look, I'm about to be mindful. You could work out more. You could be somebody who's in the gym, exercising more. Someone loves to walk. You're looking good and losing weight. You don't even see it, but other people see it. And that's why they stare at you. Something about your face is getting smaller. You may have been working out for over a year, I'm hearing, and you like to walk, you do different exercises, but you may notice that people stare at you and it makes you feel some kind of way. Spirit is saying because you look good, darling. You're losing weight, male or female, okay? You even got people from the past with the Six of Cups here, you know, even looking at you. You could be on social media, you could be in public, you can be in traffic, you could be anywhere, okay? Something about you are losing weight all over, and they're noticing, they said face, something about your slimming face. People stare at you because you're looking different. You are. You're making changes, and it's for the positive. And so they're not going to compliment you. Some people will compliment you, but very few, collective. It's just how people are, okay? But they're staring because they're like, wait a minute, collective look different. And it's not a bad different, it's a positive one. Like, what? They up here slimming down? Whoa. Yeah. So congratulations on the weight loss. That is beautiful. Beautiful. See, there they go. They're in the thinking pose, all right, but they're thinking and wondering. Guess what they're wondering? How did they do it? I wish I could be a part of that. I could use about 200-300. I heard they got some money over there, and I heard they're doing well. And I remember back in 1960, I did them a favor. I wonder could they return it? You got people with old-ish on their mind. This is old-ish on their mind. But leave them where they are. Leave them where they are. And the collective I'm talking to, you're not wishing bad luck for none of these people because you understand that what you put out will be returned to you. So you're not somewhere hoping and wishing somebody hurt themselves or be in the worst predicament of their lives. They may have wished that on you, but I'm picking up that's not who you are. Even people who have crossed you, that's just not who you are. You get it. You understand energy. You understand this life you're living. The more that you learn and grow about yourself, you're not like, oh, I wish they have a bad moment. No. You like, I wish you well, but stay over there. Stay over there. And then here you go. See, this is their energy. I sure need a favor right now. The collective. How can I approach them? How am I going to do this? Maybe I would tell them to act like I want to see the kids. Maybe I'll say something's going on in the family. Maybe I'll bring that up and I'll touch a soft spot. People want to pull on your heart chakra in life. you know Total strangers do it. They do it with advertising. When people want you to buy something, purchase something, one of the secret sauces, boss, is they want to pull on your heart chakra. They'll try to mention something sensitive, something to make you emotional, something to pull on your sensual side so they can manipulate their ways into your life. But here you go. I made another one. Business is doing great. Yeah. Could you imagine? Boy, someone who passed judgment, I got to hold it up again, belittled you, put you down, slandered your character, lied on you, and you're doing nothing but this. This is all you're doing. This is representing the people from your past you no longer deal with, and this is your current energy. Remember, gender is fluid in tarot. Could you just imagine that? This is what they're hoping for, but this is happening to them, and here you go. It's not funny, but it's funny. Yeah. And as I mentioned at the beginning, some of these things you may not even be aware of. Like, I didn't know that they were talking about me. Like, you may say, I know I don't deal with these people because, I don't agree with how they live, but I didn't know they were still talking about me 20, 15 years later. I didn't know they were still hating on me. And, because you're busy focusing on yourself. You don't have these people on your mind. Okay, but so this is spiritual notification. This is not negative projection. This is nothing to stress or worry over at all, but you're already aware of this. Okay, so continue doing the beautiful work that you are doing on yourselves, collective. Keep up the good work. Stay focused. The goal is to see yourself through on the other side. When you're working on any level of progress in your life, doesn't matter who you are or what it is, to give yourself a chance, and don't allow different people and circumstances to derail you. Now, if you need a break, take a break, but get back into the groove. Don't allow circumstances to make you want to give up and stop. And so I'm picking up here that they want to reattach because they want to find a way to intercept what you have going on. Because they like, yeah, the collective got these pentacles. Collective rolling, and they're living good, they're abundant, they're in love, but I can't get none of these pentacles. So if I can't get any, how about I'll just stop them from getting them? Yeah, diabolical thoughts. No weapon formed against the collective will ever prosper. Nope. So you're done with breaking your own heart. You're done with that. You will not be breaking your own heart. You will not be walking into situations that you know are unfavorable. You will not be deliberately sabotaging or dealing with people, places, and things that are not for your highest good. That's done and over. But they want to see you in this energy. They want to see it. Some of these people could be dreaming about you as well. And becoming very irritated, and they're becoming unfocused. They want you to be unfocused. They're becoming unfocused. Okay? Continue to keep your passion. Continue to believe in yourself. You've overcome so much for a reason. You have a unique, individual, divine purpose. So trust and believe and know that you are protected and that your works have not gone unnoticed at all. And there are people watching, but let them watch. This is part of being successful. If you were to ask anyone who you consider to be successful, they'll tell you this is part of it. People will watch, gossip, slander, lie. Really let it be like a leaf in the wind. Don't respond to the negativity. Ignore it and keep on moving. Don't even respond to it. Give it no attention at all, because it has no power unless you give it power, and it holds no weight. It can't dictate what's written in the stars for you. What is for you will never pass you by. People will try to throw a pellet and make a ripple effect, but it doesn't work unless you allow it to work. So if someone tried to engage you into confrontation, keep on moving, ignore it. You know, that's just an energy trying to derail you and get you off course. Okay? This concludes the read. I trust and hope that it assists you for your highest good. Later.